Hi there, it's Connie-Rae. Welcome to Connie-Rae's Craft Room. Today I have a gorgeous crafty share for you, which is a gift card, greeting card. This is a happy birthday card, and I have used some of our new products that will be available on the 4th of September. Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper, which has got that gorgeous shimmery silver glitter, and also Frosted Foliage stamp set, this one here. And I have also used in this for the sentiment, which you can use for any kind of sentiment, it doesn't really matter. I've used Botanical Bliss and I've used the Happy Birthday. So those are the stamps and stuff that I'm using, but I'll show you what I've used to put this together and how to do it. Easy peasy. So I will show you how to do it, and it's gorgeous. You can make quite a few of these very easily. Oh, I have to tell you, I've used our new ice stamping glitter and also the shimmery crystal effects to get the little bobbles on here blingy. So that's fun to watch it all come together. So hopefully you can see how much glitter is involved there. It's not overdone, but it's beautiful. Okay, so I'll show you how to do it. You will need a piece of cardstock, obviously a base, which is measuring 4 1/4 in width and 11 inches in length, scored at 5 1/2 in the middle. So that's your base. For the mat that I have stamped on to do the little the little icon, I have used, out of our framelit dies, I have used this one. They don't have numbers on them, but I call this 3B. But you know, oh actually, you know, I'll tell you the measurements. That'll probably be better, wouldn't it? Okay, so the measurements for this one is 2 5/8 by 4. So it's 2 5/8 in width and 4 inches in length, and that's the size it's on there, and that's the frame, and it gives you this lovely stitching effect around the edges as well, so that looks nice. So that's just our frames. Now I have, let me see what I will do first. I will do the embossing first. I think that's the best place to start. So on your little mat, you're going to be using your embossing buddy, definitely. So we'll give it a good embossing with copper, because copper's just in, isn't it? And we're going to use some Versamark. And I'm going to grab my stamp, and I am using this stamp here out of the Frosted Foliage stamp set that will be available on the 4th of September, and I'm using this one here. This is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It can be used in so many ways. And we are going to pop some Versamark on the block. You can use your Stamparatus for this, or your Misty, or your blocks, it's up to you. Versamark is fairly sticky, and it is good to be using this one for embossing. It's the best one to use. Unless you want a different colour, well then that's a different story, but for general embossing, Versamark is the one you should be using. Okay, so you just need to place your little branch somewhere where it's going to shine. I'll just hold it down for a few minutes, give it a good press and lift it up. And of course you're not going to see that straight away, but you will see it when you put your embossing powder on. I'll just bring up a little bit of, oh no, I don't probably need it for this one. I might be able to sprinkle it on out of the container because it's not too much of a big part to emboss. So you're just sprinkling on your embossing powder. And of course, if you use your embossing buddy, you should have a fairly clean image without too many problems. There you go. Doesn't that look nice? It's really pretty, this little stamp. It's got so much potential. You can use it in so many different ways. Okay. There we go. There's the image. So what we're going to do is emboss it. I'll put on my heat gun. Oh, looks like I've missed a bit there. Or yeah, I might just put a little bit more on the top there. while my heat gun's warming up. Always bring a hot heat gun to your embossing. Always heat it up first, because you don't want it to sit on your paper for too long, but you want it to be very effective in embossing your embossing powder. So it's always got to be hot and quick. If you're doing it on vellum, that's a different story. But for this instance on cardstock, you should be fine. Okay, so it seems to be fairly coloured now. I might just take my brush and I can find my brush. You can never find anything when you want it. Isn't that amazing? Just to clear up any speckly bits. Okay, so I'm going to bring my embossing gun in. Try not to burn my fingers off. Now I will show you, hopefully you'll see it turn, but the priority is actually getting it to turn without making it melt too much. So if you don't see it now, you will see when it's finished. Ouch! And it does get hot. Yes, it does get hot. Let me try and hold it this way. So you want to kind of get behind your embossing and move across it or up it towards the top. That is burning my fingers. I'm going to have to hold it with something. I think I'll use my tweezers. Alright, that should work better. So now I can just apply the heat. As you can see, maybe or maybe not, it's just melting it. You probably can't see this on camera, but it just melted it really quickly then because it's super, super hot. Can you see that? No, you can't. Not the way I'd like you to see it, that's for sure. But anyway, it's all done in a flash. Okay, so the reason I've got this out is because we are going to, I don't know if you can't see it. Yes, there you go. You can see it a bit. Cameras, they just don't do anything justice, do they? Alright, so, pretty sure that's cooled down a bit. I want to apply at this, actually I'll do this first without this horrible tacky paper there, because I'm going to do the crystal effects. So, I want to apply the Shimmery crystal effects and then the glitter. So the first thing you're going to do is just go into all the little bobbles, basically, which is super fun. And you're just going to fill it up. Not too much. You don't need a lot of this stuff. Just a little bit to cover the area that you're actually going to fill with the actual shimmer. And it only takes a few seconds, so you've got plenty of time to get the lay it down and then add your shimmer glitter. What do they call it? Ice stamping glitter. I just registered today for my online what am I talking about? Today I registered for the On Stage in Sydney in November. If you're a demonstrator, you should be going because it's so much fun. And you can go and you can have a lovely day at Darling Harbour. You will be doing prize patrol and seeing all the celebration catalogue items. You'll be able to order early. So if you're a demonstrator, you've got the option to do that. Unfortunately, at the moment, it is only for demonstrators. So, but that's not a problem if you're a demonstrator. Just join up. Meet the monthly minimums, which is not a lot. You don't have to do tutorials unless you want to. You don't have to do anything unless you want to. It's entirely optional. It's just that you get 25% off or 20% off starting off. Then you can move up to 25%. And if you can't meet it, well then you don't. You're under no obligation whatsoever. Okay, so I'm going to add my Crystal Effects glitter, and I'm just going to shake it all over the top just like you do with embossing powder. Look at that. Looks like beautiful shimmery. Shimmery. Okay, so it's probably going to be hard for you to see on my camera. Oh, you can see the copper there. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? And you can see Oh, let me just logged myself out almost. Yeah, you can't quite see it because I'm not using a video camera, but ultimately you can see how it's going to come out. So if you're not sure, you can do it again, and I have done that twice before, where you can let it dry and then add more if you want to, but I won't for this instance. I'll just make sure that I've got all the bits down that I want. I can see a little bit there that I would probably like a little bit more. No, yeah. Okay, done. All right, so we'll put that aside for now and let that sort itself out while we do the rest of the card. Tip that back in its little box or its little container and get that tackiness out of the way. Okay. I am going to have glitter forever in my craft room. It's just not going to go away because I just use it too much. Okay, so the next thing we've got is our card base and our mat. We are going to be using, and what have I done with them? I do this every time. I do my preparation and then I lose my preparation. Not good. Okay, I have cut 2 slivers of the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper, 6x6, and I have used, have I used that piece? Yes, I have. I've used that side of this gorgeous paper. So you can use that side or whichever side you want. And I have cut 2 pieces of trim off that. The first one is 4 inches by about 5/16, and that is going to go on the side of your mat. So I've just stuck that on the side here like this. So it gives us this gorgeous thing. So I'll do that now while this one is setting. And you can use your glue of your choice. It doesn't matter what you use as long as it's glued. Shall I use my Tombow? Oh, I'll use this. I've got it out now. Tombow is fine for this. Just on the side, you just need to put a little bit of a strip of glue. I just did the silliest thing, didn't I? I did. I glued the wrong side. Alright, let me see if I can utilise this in another way. No, I'm not going to be able to. Okay, I can wipe it off. How's that? I shall wipe it off. And try again. And it worked. Woo! Lucky. Okay, so I need to be putting it on the shiny side, which is going to be something we can see. I am a silly sausage. Okay, start again. A little bit of a trim on this side. There we go. And I sort of just gave it a little bit of a lip. I didn't use a lot, but just enough. And you probably need to use your grid paper for this just to make sure it's all straight and it's at the same width on your card. Don't worry about the length because you can always trim that, but certainly the width you want to make sure that it is actually straight. Whoop. And there we go. So we've just popped it on like that, and I'm just going to trim the bottom because it is a little bit long. Scissors. There we go. There we go. So that's your mat practically done. Oh, I should have done the embossing for the sentiment, but only because we normally do sentiments later have I moved on. That's all right, we can go back to that. And for this one, we will pop this on the bottom. And I did find that a little bit of a lip down the bottom looks nicer than it actually sitting on the bottom. So that's my preference. But of course, you can do the whole thing the way that you want it. Again, we're going to glue the right side. And again, I would use your grid mat to line it up to make sure it's straight. And again, we'll just trim that off. This one is the dimension is the width of your card, which is 4 1/4. So as you can see, it's all coming together. Now I will emboss the sentiment, I think, because I forgot to do that. I'm using my Misty. You can use your Stamparatus. I have got no idea where I put my Stamparatus. Isn't that terrible? I think I've got it in another room when I was mucking around, and I've left it there. But that's okay. This will work. You can use a block for this. It's just a sentiment. If you want to get it straight, you're going to make sure that the stamping tool is probably a better option for you. Yep, that looks good to me. Actually, I might just bring it up a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, again, we're going to be using Versamark. We can just run your embossing buddy over this again, just to be sure. Versamark. And our copper embossing powder. Such an easy tutorial, and you can make these mats up and put them on the bases when you get time, so it's kind of like really easy to do and very effective. There we go, that's done. Turn the heat gun back on. It has been hot, so it shouldn't take too long to heat up now. While that's heating up, I will just grab my little tweezer thing here just to hold it, but also just check to make sure I haven't got any little bits on there. While the camera's heating up, I can do that. Looks good. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Doesn't it look gorgeous? Such a lovely colour, and it goes really well with this particular design. Okay, so we've got, essentially we're almost there, folks. So there is your base. You've got your base put together. And we will now finalise the base. We will use some dimensionals. Okay, so you probably need to use your grid mat for this one as well. Your placement is essentially really where you want to put it. I don't think it's really, I just found that that location is probably the better location for it for some reason, a little bit over towards your right. So I would use the grid mat for this one and make sure that you've got your alignment done properly. And of course that didn't work very well. I tried to use that Duvalacking and it's not going to cooperate, but that's okay, we can do it this way. There we go. Lovely. So put your dimensionals on because it gives it a little bit of, or even foam tape, because it does give it a little bit of height, and you do want a little bit of height. So we will put now some embellishments on, which are our little moon rhinestone things. That I can't remember what they're called, but they're in our annual catalogue, these ones, along with the copper embossing powder too. That's available now, and of course the cardstock and things like that. But the stamp and the paper will follow very soon. Okay, so we've put an embellishment here, and oh, I love these things. They just are the best to top things off with. They just leave such a beautiful sentiment behind. So whimsical. And the last thing is a ribbon. The dreaded ribbon. Now, oh, let me see which ribbon I used. Oh, no, that wasn't it. Whoop. Okay. Oh, here it is. Oh, I'm almost out of the ribbon. Okay, I'm knocking everything over there. Oh, okay, this is the ribbon. And the ribbon I've used, this is available as well. It's sheer ribbon. It's 1/8 of an inch in width, which is my kind of ribbon, because I find thick ribbons are just a little bit too hard to work with. Actually, I find ribbon too hard to work with, especially tying bows on cameras. This is like, no. But in some instances, our creations need a little bit. So let's see how we go, shall we? In tying a bow without too much drama. Silence is deafening. Okay, let me see. I just want it to be straight when I put it on, so ooh, nearly. I think I've taken that one too far through. No, not quite. Okay, let me try that one more time. So just don't know if I've actually got enough, but I think it's worth the struggle with the bow. And it's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it looks better with the bow than without. So it's like, okay, struggle is real. Okay, here we go. Tuck it under, and okay. I think I've got it upside down, but you know. Okay, let's have a look here. We can wing it, can't we? It's not the best bow, but you know, what can I do? I'm sure it's upside down. All right. Third time lucky. This is the last time. If I don't, I'm just going to do a knot. All right. Maybe. Oh, it's really not a good bow. But anyway, look, it's on in a very unstraight way, and I don't really like it at all. So we will go back to the original. I have tied the bow on. I'm not happy with it, but we will go back to the original, and we can fix the bow off camera so that it looks lovely. So there you have it. That is the creation for today, for the tutorial, and this gorgeous glitter. I have actually gone in and I've done that twice on this one. I'm pretty sure that you're probably not going to be able to see it, but I do find that it just looks a little bit more built up in terms of glitter. So you can go back in even before it's dry or even after it's dry and just add on another layer of the crystal effects and the Stampin' glitter. So it will give you this nice ball effect. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me today. Do take care. Please like, share, subscribe, and thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you stopping by. And these items, half of them are available now out of the store, and they'll be shown on the links down the bottom. And the ones, obviously the copper embossing powder and the other things, they will have links that what's available now, and I'll pop back on the 4th and put the links in to the gorgeous frosted foliage stamp set. And did I say that I'm not quite sure if I did tell you or not, but I did use the Happy Birthday sentiment out of the Botanical Bliss stamp set as well. So, but I'll include those in the links down the bottom, so you've got nothing to worry about. You can just go in and you can create. So thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you soon with a new tutorial, hopefully as stunning as this one. Who knows? Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.